Hello, friends. Welcome to what day is it? Thursday? Thursday night sprints. I don't ever do Thursday night sprints, but the wheel chose sprints this week because that's what we're doing on this channel now. We're using the wheel to choose our time and our day. And we have a Katie and a Margaret with us on this beautiful Thursday, which I feel like I have sprinted. Well, I have sprinted with Margaret because 24-hour sprint. But I feel like I haven't sprinted with Katie in forever.
Yeah, I don't remember the last time. I know it wasn't that long ago, but I can't tell you when.
We sprinted for Clue, but I think you did pop in for 24-hour sprints. But I don't know. Have you hosted 24-hour sprints since February?
No, it's been too hard because, so in March, you guys did it the weekend of my birthday, and then we already had sprints for Tortured Readers. So,
right.
Unfortunately, weekends are just rough. And so I do my best, but usually it overlaps with something. So
yeah, I think you've just kind of popped in when you can. So I just feel like I haven't seen your face,
I almost signed up for some crazy nighttime hours for the last one, and then I was like, be so for real, Caitlin, be so for real. So
I feel like weekends get weird once you start working from home too, right? It's doing things on the weekends has gotten exponentially harder for me.
Actually, I have this problem too, and I've been doing YouTube now as a full-time job since August of last year.
Yeah.
And here's the thing is that I was so strict with my work hours when I first started doing for reasons that when I first started doing YouTube, that now that I have more freedom to kind of do what I need to do when it comes to work stuff, I find that if I have something that needs to be done on the weekend, so if I have I don't do sprints other than 24-hour sprints. I don't do any sprinting on the weekend. I'm not on. I will guest on someone else's sprints because that will allow me to kind of come and go as I need to, but I don't host sprints on the weekends. So I noticed that my weekends seem to also be packed full of things. They're just not work things. So I don't even I think more people, there were so many people for 24-hour sprints last weekend that were we're so sorry we can't make it, or whatever. I feel like somebody, I don't know if somebody that's in the group felt that I was going to be angry about it. I'm listen, I understand that I do this over a weekend. So not everyone's gonna be able to show up for that. But also I can't do 24-hour sprints during the week. Could you imagine? Absolutely not.
So many people would complain too.
Right. And I already had and I moved them the way that I did because people were already not liking. There was enough feedback saying that starting at 2 p.m. on a Friday kind of cut out half of the sprints for a lot of people. So I'm okay, well, there's no way I could do these on a Wednesday and a Thursday because people work. And I have children in my house that go to school. I can't. And at least on the weekends, if it wakes the kids up or whatever, or somebody comes out and is you're too loud or whatever that, no one has school the next day.
Yeah.
I wouldn't want to disturb everybody's sleep. I mean, we're all a bunch of insomniacs in this house anyway, but whatever. But yeah.
That's coincidentally why my DM had to cancel, because he is an insomniac and was out of his meds for a while. So now he's having to get back on a regular sleep schedule.
Yeah, and that's just, my brother, they always hear, yelling downstairs. There's times where he's up for 2 or 3 days, and then he's I'm so tired. But now my body's finally ready to go to sleep, and I'm you should probably go get that checked out. But you're an adult, so you do what you do. What are we doing tonight, friends? I am reading Her Soul to Take by Harley the Room. This is one of the books Ari picked for her vlog. Ari is controlling my books this week. So I've been instructed that I have to read the pretty copy of this book. So this is I don't know if I can. It's foiled, and it has sprayed edges, and the hardcover is foiled with pink. So she told me that I was going to just read the paperback or the Kindle version, but she was like, you have to read the pretty book. So
I feel like Ari's right here.
So that's what I'm doing. I'm just reading this. I'm vibing. I'm not quite halfway through, but I'm on page 123. And like, I mean, I'm vibing. Like it's a fun demon-y time. You know? It's like a dark romance. I don't know that I've ever read a dark romance. But a lot of dark romance. I don't know if like specifically I've read it where like one of our characters is a demon. Also, I feel like there might be some gay shit in this book because I don't know. Katie, is there gay shit in this book?
Listen, I read this book like a while ago. So at this point, I'm like, I remember certain things, but I don't remember anything gay. That doesn't mean it doesn't happen.
Now, Harley LaRue, they do identify as being queer. So like, if there's gay shit, I kind of expect there to be gay shit, but Leon definitely is like hanging out with a dude that he claims that he's like sleeping with or whatever. And I was like, oh, is there gay shit in this? Like, is this? I think this is reverse harem, but I don't know. But also, it doesn't feel like reverse. I thought this was reverse harem, but it doesn't feel like that. It feels like it's just her and him, right?
Yes, ma'am.
This is not reverse harem.
No.
Okay. All right. I don't know why I thought this book was reverse harem. You know what? I wonder if I got this one confused with the Penelope Douglas series. The Penelope Douglas series that has like the creepy covers. Because that's reverse harem. That's like bully romance.
Are you talking about Devil Knight?
Yeah, that
series?
Yeah. I think that's reverse harem because I think that's a bunch of dudes to one chick.
No, ma'am.
Is it not?
No, ma'am.
Well, then I don't know. Vanessa read it. I'm gonna look this up while you.
Because each guy gets their own book, and they all have different love interests.
Does what?
I'm so sorry.
What I'm Ari, relax. What is the one that I'm thinking of that has like
it sounds like you're a victim of the Mandela effect right now.
Something because like I swore Penelope Douglas wrote a freaking series where it was like a bunch of dudes corrupt. Is that the book?
That's the Devil's Night series.
Well, why did I think that was reverse harem?
I mean, in the first book, like they do a lot of interesting stuff together, I would say, but it's not reverse harem. Like they don't all end up with one.
Okay, but it's not like all of them with one chick because that's reverse harem. Is one chick with a bunch of dudes. Okay. Mm-hmm. All right, cool, great. Okay, all right, fine. Okay, great. It's fine. Okay. Katie, what are you doing? And then Margaret, and then we'll read comments.
What am I not doing, you guys? I'm juggling many hats this evening. But I'm hoping to read some arcs and to avoid slumps and to get some author work done and to, I don't know, live, laugh, love, probably watch some TV. I don't know, genuinely. Like I finally have the house to myself. Well, my husband's here, but like my mom and brother were visiting. Right. And I finally feel like I can breathe because when people visit, I feel like I have to go into like full host mode where I'm like, are we having fun? What should we do? Are you eating well? Well, okay, hi. So like I can now finally like decompress. So much going on this weekend because Saturday I'm getting my hair done and then I'm meeting up with my friend and we're getting ready to talk about Wild and Windy in the City, which is next week when we're going to Chicago. And then the next thing you know, bada bing, bada boom, I'm going back to work and then I'm traveling.
Right. Yeah. See, this is why I don't like hosting. Not that I don't like it, but I prefer hosting friends over family because with friends, like my friends know what I do all day. Okay. I play Wildflowers and I read books. That's what I do. So like if I'm having friends, like if like you or Margaret came to my house to stay and I was like, hey dude, like I have some stuff planned, but like, what if we just like read some books? You would be down to do that. You know what I mean? Eat some snacks, read some books, watch some stuff.
Bold of you to assume that's not why I am there in the first place.
It'd be like, but that's the thing, like, because I've like really been like, I could have people come visit me, not at my house. We'd have to go stay at a hotel. There's too many people in my house for us to all stay here. But like, we have like a nice hotel here in town that's like attached. Well, it's not attached, but they do like deals with like the movie theater and stuff that just got built.
Yeah.
So I'm like, we could stay there. We could do like a retreat, even if we don't leave the hotel, even if we just hang out in this hotel room and read books. It would still be fun, you know? But when I have to host my family, they like expect me to do things with them. And I'm like, but why can't we just read books? No? Oh.
I feel like, yeah, you know, family can just, for me, there's actually less pressure with family to be like, yeah, you can, but it's family is me, my parents, and my brother at this point. Although I am going to a family reunion next month, so.
See, and when like my family all like most of us live all in the same state at this point, but like if grandma drives 2 hours to come see us, she doesn't want to sit here and watch me read a book. She wants to like go out to or go take Ari or take us like shopping or whatever. Like she wants to like do something, and I'm like,
my family's so I grew up in a family where my mom was always in a corner reading. And so for them, the fact that I am always in a corner reading is just like, oh no, that's just Margaret being Melinda's daughter.
That's just Margaret. I mean, everybody gets used to me just rolling into Christmas with my Kindle, and then like when I get bored, I just go sit in a chair by myself, or I'll even sit in a chair in the middle of the room, and I'll just be reading, and they'll be like, "Oh, you reading your romance books again?" That's what I tell them I read. I do not disclose what is inside the romance books.
I mean, if I told my mom I was reading romance books, she'd think I was reading smut anyways. So.
I simply just say I'm reading romance books. Well, I mean, my grandma definitely knows I read smut. She accidentally picked up a book once.
I have officially eaten her away from my bookshelves. I'm like, no, what do you want to read? You tell me. She went to pick up, I think, there was one point where she was like, yeah, she was interested in the Kiss Quotient. And I was like, Melinda, you're not ready for that.
You're not ready for that. I really did love that book, though. I had never
really
been in a book ever in my life.
I think she'd have a good time reading it if she could get past the fact that they were having sex without being married. But you know,
right? Yeah, because it is very. What is that movie?
It'd be put back on my shelf with basically porn. And then we have to have a conversation that I don't want to have.
Right.
So my life is a balancing act of just trying to avoid conversations that will cause friction at the house.
Right. What are you doing tonight, Margaret?
Well, I don't know if you guys can see it, but I am currently in a disaster zone because I did change out, I changed out my curtain rods so that I can do a double curtain and hopefully be able to have my windows open with it being, because I have a west facing window, so it'll be less hot in the evening, but still be able to have the light in my room. And also have it be less on like my books and things that I don't want to get faded. So, anyways, I gotta clean that up. First on the docket is dinner, and then I don't know. There's a bunch of stuff that I need to do, and I need to start working on, but also spoons.
It's all about the spoons.
Might plan my May TBR finally. Might play Baldur's Gate and watch Critical Role. It's anyone's guess at this point.
Listen, I was just so proud of myself that I finally got a TBR up before the end of the month. Yeah. I mean, was it the last day of the month? Yes, it was. It went up yesterday. But I was like so proud. I was like, look at you getting a TBR up before the first of the month. Have I posted my wrap up for Instagram? No, it was supposed to go up today, but it's fine.
My usual deadline is I want to have it out, and this can change. Like if I'm having, like, I'm not sure I'm going to be able to film, yada, yada, yada. My goal is always to have it up the first like video day of the month. Right now that's Mondays. Maybe it stays Mondays, maybe it doesn't. I don't know. But yeah.
Well, after having to offload a month's worth of footage off of my SD cards because both SD cards were completely full, we have to put some new systems in place over here. Because I was like, this is actually ridiculous, the amount of footage that I have to offload. So it's fine. Let us say hello. Hello, Saudia. Hello, Glenda. Hello, Zinnia. Hello, Ashley. Crystal. I feel like I don't see you ever because I don't, but you're also, you have a lot going on, and I understand. But I miss Hello, Lily. Reading Secluded Cabin Sleep 6 by Lisa Unger. Wonderful. Everyone's saying hello to each other in the comments. Is this the first? Yes. Her Soul to Take is the first book. The queer stuff that comes into play in book 4. Okay, so I got a ways to go. Okay, so it was just alluded to. I just got teased with gayness. That's fine. It's fine. I can wait. Honestly, this book is such a vibe that like I can't wait. I'm not even halfway through it and I can't wait to read book 2. So like
Nice.
It's fine. It's such a vibe. I had that last month with Break the Girl, which was a dark hockey romance. And like the only thing that kind of irritated me about that was like I knew there was no HEA at the end because she says that like in the author's note.
Yeah.
But like, the cliffhanger was such a cliffhanger that then I went and read the first 2 chapters of the next book and then was like, okay, I don't really feel like continuing this series right at this moment.
Was it?
Yeah.
Margaret and Auntie Katie.
Come on.
What do you mean, come on?
We weren't who she wanted, apparently. It is what it is. Sometimes it just be like that.
So it's not that she doesn't love y'all.
I do love you guys.
It's that she wanted Brittany because Brittany and I have been recording during the day, so she's at school, so she doesn't.
Oh yeah, so you don't see Brittany.
She doesn't
I
see.
feel like Brittany should probably fix. We should let Brittany know that so she can fix that, even if it's just so like time to call, say hi.
I'll try to set up a FaceTime with Auntie Brittany this week. Okay. Do you want to come say hi to Margaret and Auntie Katie? Why you so crestfallen, bro? Okay, you're gonna have to come around because I can't turn the computer that far. Say hi.
Hey, girl.
Why are you sitting here telling me out like that? Are you reading any books right now?
She gotta go get it. She gotta let us see it.
Can you get to it? Okay, why is that suitcase up here? Anyway.
You told me to bring it up here.
Okay, put it over
so
there.
We had a place to store
Okay,
it.
all right, put it over there. Okay, get your book.
Can I put it in the downstairs closet in the dining room?
If it'll fit. But get your book first so you can show the people. You got it? What happened to your arm?
Oh, you noticed my band-aid.
Yeah, get your book.
It's a knuckle band-aid. It's meant for your knuckles.
I'm aware. But alas, it's on your arm. Okay, get your book so you can show everybody. Is that the book you're reading?
I forgot.
What? What are you doing? Okay, all right. Well, come show everybody your book. Okay, go ahead. Show them your book.
I got that much through the book.
Okay, well, show them what the book is. They don't know what the book is.
What book is it?
Can you read it, or do you want to just hold it up?
Where the
Sidewalk.
ends.
Good one.
Where the sidewalk.
Nice.
That's a good book.
Sidewalk ends.
Here, you can hold it up if you want to the camera. There you go.
Can
I haven't read that one.
What? Oh, it's so like
Come on.
quirky and fun.
please?
What?
Can I show them back?
Sure, if you want to show them Shel Silverstein.
Okay.
That's what
That's a
he
fun little movement.
The book.
This was one of the books that
She got me she got me some banned books. 2 banned
Jean
books.
sent money for Ari to have banned books, and this was one of the books that she got.
Oh, nice.
Back on the shelf. And then go finish your food because you need to go to bed. Okay. And then I'll let you use the phone. Okay.
Like, let me use the phone.
Yeah. Hi. Somebody sprinting today. Hello, Rally. Okay, I'm not read this one. Mm-mm.
I have it.
I haven't read it yet. I have it also, but I've not read it yet. I've heard kind of mixed things about it because I feel like a lot of people on the romance team were reading it during Amazing Readathon last year. Because it fit for some stuff, I think like pattern on the cover or something. It fit for something over there. And so a lot of the romance team was reading it. My sister calls me those recommendations. We were currently buddy reading a Hermione fanfic. Listen. All of my cousins call me, now mind you, my cousins are all over the age of 18, but they're all like at least 10 years younger than me, right? And they'll call me and they'll be like, hey, have you read any good dark romance books recently that you could recommend? And I'm like, listen, I'm not really trying to scar you at 21. So how dark are you trying to go here? Because
You're 21.
Are you looking for another sister? Because I want to join.
That's what I'm saying. Like, yeah. I mean, I seem to be the most like diverse reader in my family, so everybody calls me for recommendations because they're like, "Oh, you don't know what blank book to read? Just call Neva. She'll tell you what to read." And I'm like, "Y'all don't pay me enough for this. They don't pay me anything."
Why am I taking that?
Katie, Crystal says y'all can buddy read smut anytime.
I'm in.
Crystal's always down to buddy read smut, weird or otherwise. Weird or otherwise, you can. Yeah, we love because Crystal was part of the like reading weird smut thing that Brittany and Kelsey and it was like me, Brittany, Kelsey, and Reni. We did that for a while in like 2023. We would do like dedicated sprints where we would just read like weird smut.
That's fun.
Yeah. I mean, honestly, if you dig around on all of our channels, you could probably still find the live shows. I know that the ones that I hosted are still on my channel because I like they're just there.
Yeah.
But like we read, that was when we read like one of the ones that we read during that time was that Where Turkey book. I'm pretty sure Brianna was on that one. Like 18 pages of my life. I'll never get back. It's fine.
I remember the Where Turkey book. I don't need
I can't stop thinking about it. Like it's like one of those books that just like lives in your brain rent free. Honestly, the one that I read last year, what was that one? Mean One. The Grinch.
I haven't read these, and I get triggered by you mentioning them because I sent these screenshots.
So I went. I don't know if I told you this. So we went to what?
Is there like a few things? I still haven't Crystal's, but is there a few things for me to bring?
I don't know. You'll have to go look in the kitchen.
If there is, can I pack my lunch in the morning?
Sure.
I love you. I love you for the Jesus Molly Rangers of life.
Thanks, bud.
I love you for the gods of our lives that made us human, that made us go into bellies and birth, and the people's birthdays and all of that. I love all three of you that way.
All right. Well, I love you too. Go get ready for bed, please. Oh Lord. I love you too.
As much as I can.
I know.
Of a figure of speech.
A figure of speech. Okay.
I love you too. I love you infinity. Anything you say.
Okay. Can you go get ready for bed? Can you do that?
Yeah.
Thank you.
First,
go get ready for bed, and then you can deal with your lunch.
Okay, so I can check after I'm done.
Yes.
Okay.
Go ahead. Thank you.
Love you.
Love you too. Okay. We are very dramatic in the house today. Oh, okay. So I read that one, right? I read Mean One, right? It's like a dark romance, like Grinch retelling. It's terrible. Don't read it. What? I don't care. But get a t-shirt on to walk around the house. Thank you. So I read this, and then my cousin was like, "Hey, are you gonna come to Christmas Eve service?" And I was like, "Oh yeah, sure, I'll come to Christmas Eve service." And then what did the pastor talk about the entire time? He talked about the message of Christmas that was in the Grinch movie the entire time, like showed clips of the Grinch movie. Like, and I was just sitting in this service, and I was like, "You have got to be kidding me." Because like I understood like what his message was. Like his message made sense. Like it was, because the Christians will find ways to find a message.
They will connect things to
Right.
to Jesus.
Right.
The weirdest connections.
Right. And
did you see there was a church that they played The Ordinary? Had a guy singing The Ordinary during Easter service.
right. I mean, this is what I'm saying. Like they will find connections. And you could tell that like he had sat down and he had written out his sermon to fit with what he felt the message of Christmas was in how the Grinch stole Christmas. Okay. Like I got it. Like it made sense. But the whole time I'm sitting here and I'm like, the last Grinch thing that I looked at was actual blasphemy. So there was no message of hope in that book. Let me just tell you what. Hello, Precious. Stop by to hit the like button and show support. Thank you so much. Hello, Jean. 20% of a Game of Hearts and Heists, a steamy sapphic fantasy.
Nice.
Steamy sapphic fantasy. I've not picked up another sapphic book since I finished My Best Friend's Honeymoon because honestly, that book was 6 stars and
like, no other sapphic could attain that level.
It was
only disappointment.
So good. And I did not enjoy the third act breakup, but I never enjoy a third act breakup. Like that's just who I am as a person. So I think someone just showed up at my house. Anyway, so I mean I don't care, but so like
someone
as an arc, like it was one of the backlist arcs. So it'll be in my actually like next week should be my first episode of Read It and Review It, which is like my arc clean out thing on my channel. And it's in there. But like I'm not a third act breakup kind of person, especially when I feel like the third act breakup could have been avoided with some communication. Like it's gonna annoy me. But
you have to like really sell it, right? And I think most of the time it doesn't make sense for it to be a true proper breakup, right?
And it only really worked for me because like the two characters were supposed to have been like friends from to begin with, and then like it turned into like a thing, and then I was like, okay, I guess.
Yeah. Wait, where is?
So yeah, but I haven't picked up another one since that. But now that one, because it's by the same author that wrote Cleat Cute, and I DNF'd Cleat Cute last year, but now I'm wondering if I should try to pick it back up.
Is that Mira Wilson?
So much. So, and I know Brianna really likes that book.
Yeah.
So
yeah, that's Mira Wilson. They're really sweet.
Yeah.
I met them in Steam World last year. They were really cool. So. The book says 1,000 words.
Hello, I'm here. Sorry, people were talking. Okay, so yeah, but I did like that one.
Yeah.
Honestly, I've had a lot of 6-star books this year, so I don't know if it's just because like I just know what I like to read, or if these books have legitimately all been 6-star books. You know,
if you know what you like to read, then that is a legitimate 6-star book, right?
Yeah, I've only DNF'd 6 books this year, and usually I DNF way more than that by now.
I feel like that's part of why I have so few 2 stars and 1 stars is like I avoid the books that I know I'm not going to like. Like if I'm like, probably not going to be I'll read those if they're for a project, but like not otherwise.
Well, in all reality, the books that I have DNF'd this year, like I just DNF'd Gothicana. I thought that it would be at least a book that I would like vibe with.
Yeah.
So like most of the DNFs that I've had this year have either been arcs. There was one arc that I DNF'd. Or which I thought that I would like it based off the blurb. So even that one, I guess I could say like the ones that I've DNF'd are ones that I assumed that I would like from the blurb or whatever. What was that one? The horror book or thriller? I don't know what it was supposed to be.
Hear that one?
That one that everybody else did not like. Like Katie, I think gave it like 2 stars.
You loved it, didn't you?
No, I DNF'd it.
Okay.
Katie gave it like 2 stars. Kelsey, I think, gave it like 3 stars. Like it was a very like low rated book in the friend group, but I was like, it's fine. I'm gonna read it anyway. And then I got like halfway through it and I was like, this is trash. I don't want to read this. It wasn't really trash. I know people
tried it anyway, even though everyone you knew like, no, this is trash. You're like, I have to see if this is basura for myself. Sometimes it does be like that. What sentence was that?
Yeah, I mean, objectively, like reading is objective. So just because I didn't like a book, it didn't make it trash. But I was like, I don't understand why this woman, a millennial woman, allowed these people to come in her house in the first place. Why did you even open the door for people that you don't know? I would never. Absolutely not. Absolutely not. As a millennial woman, you're never. If you show up to my house unannounced, I don't know what to tell you. Like, unless you're a person who knows that they can just walk through the front door, I'm not answering the door for you. Especially if I look through my peephole and I don't recognize that not one of you people, absolutely not.
The best thing about my apartments is that without a key, you can't even get in the entryway. So you wouldn't even be able to get remotely close to me. And we never called the main office to get ourselves like on the buzzer comm. So like you can't even find me. Unless you have my number, you ain't getting in. And unless you pre-made plan,
you can go through all of them.
And also, like, if my brother is awake, you have to walk past him to get anywhere in the house. Like, he sits, his computer desk is where he can see the front door. So if somebody walks in and either walks in unannounced or walks in, like, he'll look at anybody, even people that he knows, like, technically they have permission. I mean, unless they're, like, our siblings. He'll look at them and be like, does someone know you're here? Like, you're not just going to waltz into my house, bruh. What? Absolutely not. So, like, the fact that this woman was like, oh, I don't know these people, but let me open the door and invite them in because they claim that they used to live here. I don't care. Absolutely not. Absolutely. No. This is not an open house. I'm so sorry.
Nothing good happens from letting people in your house. The book is a great example, but then technically, like I said, for my apartments, we're not supposed to let in people we don't know. Well, Adam one time, you know where this is going. He let in a stranger. Okay. And then you know what happened to me? I got subpoenaed. And do you want to know why? It's because technically there were some shenanigans that happened in the apartments a couple years ago. And I gave testimony to a police officer. But if Adam would have never let this sir in the building, thank goodness I worked for a lawyer at the time. And it wasn't a big deal. I just didn't want to have to do I didn't want to have to go like,
you didn't have to deal with
witness.
Right.
Like I didn't want to do that. So I was like, oh, okay, don't give statements. Got it. But I was like, what do you mean? I was like, I don't want this. What if I just don't want it? And he's like, tough. Here you go. And I was like, oh, thanks a lot, Adam. So yeah, don't open your door, guys.
That's what I'm saying. Don't no.
We had someone show up at my place of work to serve papers to my boss at one point. I'm like, they'll track you down.
Well, they can't find my job because my job's not public record.
Yeah.
Like, because I work in private homes, like, good luck.
Yeah.
Right.
But it's okay because Adam screwed me over. So there you go. My own husband.
Hello, Gigi. Good evening. I'm almost done with Different Seasons by Stephen King. Then going to read Mr. Mercedes' trilogy Before Never Flinch. Comes out on the 27th. Wonderful. I have had a poll recently to reread some of my favorite Stephen King books, but I don't know how to make that into content. Well, actually, I guess, I don't really know how to make it into content. So I'm like, do I just read them to read them? And then if they work for content at some point, like I can do it that way. There's a couple that I just want to like reread that I like read in high school. So, I mean, I guess I could do them as like revisiting old favorites or something. Hello, Christina. Christina coming in with all of the reminders. Do all of the things. Friends. Hello. Hello, Chris. Thank you so much for subscribing to my channel because I saw that. I'm also going to link Margaret and Katie down below. I wasn't sure how many people were going to be here tonight, so I didn't like pre-do the description. So I will do that in the first sprint so you can refresh like during the sprint and then you can go subscribe to Katie and Margaret because I'm much better at promoting them than I am at myself, and they're wonderful people, so you should go subscribe. But thank you, Chris, because I got the notification that you subscribed. We love to have new friends. We never mind you joining. The only rule I really have on this channel is don't be a dick. That's the only rule. So that is all encompassing, you know, just be kind. And that's it. That's the only rule. Otherwise, you can just hang out with us. Read, don't read. We don't judge here, to be honest.
I don't know that I'm going to be reading.
I'm so happy to be finding new people on BookTube, and we are so happy to have you. We love it. We do lots of things. What do I do on this channel? I do vlogs. I do sprints. Once a month, we do 24-hour sprints that start here, and they kind of just go through a chain of whoever is available out of the like 15-ish people that have come with me for another year. Mm-hmm. That's really all I do on this channel, to be honest. Sometimes I sing on this channel, occasionally, but I've had allergies, so I've not been singing on this channel because y'all don't want to listen to me sing right now. I can promise you that. I might ramble from time to time, and people find it annoying. Well, you're in good company because we love to talk over here. We do, and sometimes we make sense, and sometimes we don't. Christina is going to be listening to
graphic audio.
Oh, graphic audio. I was like, what the hell is a GA? Of Aquawar, which is A Court of Wings and Ruin. I do know that. And working on her blanket. Wonderful. I want to play Wildflowers, but sadly, I do not have an audiobook for Her Soul to take, and I do need to read some of this tonight. So will I maybe pick up Zodiac Academy so I have an audiobook? Maybe. But I don't know, because Wildflowers just keeps ripping my heart out, bro. Like, they just keep giving me sad, tragic things happening. And it's really rude, considering it's supposed to be like a cozy life sim, right? But you just got people, you know, you got people dying in this game. I'm not like gruesome deaths or anything, but like, and then we're out here just like honoring our dead loved ones. It's crazy. Yes.
I still have not read Baby by Courtney Summers, and I don't know how, because I've been here long enough. I should have, right?
Same. I haven't either, even though I did hear like the audiobook and everything was a good time. But sometimes like I get nervous. Yeah. Sometimes I just get nervous where I'm like, ooh, I don't know if I'm ready. And then time goes by and I'm like, uh-oh.
Listen, if you want someone to hold your hand, we can hold each other's hand. Just like, what am I like? I think there have been a couple of times where I've almost picked it up and then it just hasn't worked out. Anyways, but yeah, it sounds really good. And remember the cover. The cover is like one of those that you remember.
That's
right?
why as soon as Chris said it, I was like, I had to double check. I was like, this is that book, right? And I was like, oh yeah.
Yeah. And I'm into podcasts now. I was not into podcasts when it came out. That was a COVID development.
Oh, I've always loved podcasts. Hence why I'm on Podcasters for Escape the Readathon. I was like, it's meant to be.
Ooh. I just joined this morning. Afternoon.
Yay!
Well, all my friends were on the team, so I was like, oh, I'm not going to go to a team where my friends aren't.
Well, perfect. You chose well.
Yeah. We will win together or lose together. That's the important part.
I mean, we have to win because Adam joined the hackers and him and Cassidy are talking a lot of smack and not in my house.
Oh, God. Traitor.
I know. He says I'm a traitor, but no.
It's one thing to join another team, but to talk smack with the enemy.
I know. But it's very exciting for me. I'm just happy this is his first readathon. It's very exciting.
Nice.
So.
Very nice.
What about a readathon? I'm so sorry.
Adam is a traitor.
Yeah, Adam is a traitor. He's in Escape the Readathon with me, but I'm in Podcasters and he's in Hackers.
Wow.
I know.
How rude of him.
Tell him.
I threatened my brother last year when he did Fabling, and I was like, the only way you can participate in this is if you're on my team. And he was like, wow. I was like, because I'm literally a host. And he was like, okay.
My brother asked if he should participate in Fabling last year, and I was like, bro, you read one book a month. I don't think you're going to have fun here. I'm hopefully setting it up so that, like, people who are slower readers and won't be able to read all 10 prompts can still help, but we'll see.
Yeah.
What are you wearing on your shirt, Katie?
Me?
Yeah, your shirt. What's that?
The Haunted Library?
Ooh, that's exciting.
Yeah. Book Babe Designs. She's
song.
Book Babe Designs is amazing. And then on the back it says like support your local library. Like she's the best. I give her all of my money and I never have any regrets. The end.
That's fun.
I adore singing. I'm actually acting in specifically musical theater. Listen, again,
Live the dream, Chris.
Because I mean, I'm not currently in musical theater, but you know, you can take the kid out of the musical theater, but you can't take the musical theater out of the kid. You know what I'm saying? So
yeah, no, I know exactly what you're saying.
Listening to Sadie by Courtney Summers, about to finish. Wonderful. Listen, it's all good. It's all good. Hey, Chantel. Wildflowers was such a great game. I can't wait for the sequel. Chantel.
I love that they're doing a sequel for a cozy game.
They are.
Right?
Yeah, so they're doing, it's called Wild Society, and it's technically like a prequel.
Uh-huh.
So in Wildflowers, they talk about it's a life sim where you are assigned a character. You can only play Tara. She's the only like playable character. But she goes home goes back to this like island to take care of her grandma. And her grandma talks about her great aunt Vivian. And so Wild Society is following great aunt
Vivian.
Yeah.
Nice.
It's like great aunt Vivian is a Black woman, first of all. Okay. And also it's very like Bridgerton-esque.
Okay.
But like with magical creatures. Yeah.
Nice.
So, like this one is like, because Wildflowers, it's, you know, witches and other like werewolves and other like magical creatures. So I can't wait. I'm waiting to see if they're going to bring it to either Apple Arcade or the Switch. If they bring it to the Switch, I will buy it. I'm hoping they bring it to Apple Arcade, since Wildflowers is actually started on Apple Arcade in like 2023. Yeah. I'm hoping they will bring it, but right now it's just on Steam and you can like waitlist it on Steam.
Nice.
It's probably the writing, but I feel like the book is not on autopilot. That happens sometimes.
Yeah. I also know that it's one that I think a lot of people do say you have to listen. Like, it doesn't hit quite as hard if it's not as an audiobook, because they put so much effort into making it into a podcast.
Son is listening to the Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes. He started it yesterday and it's already over 50%.
Nice.
I feel like I'm like the odd man out with this book. I liked this book. I gave it 5 stars when I read it.
Yeah. A
lot of people didn't like it. I think people went into it thinking that they were supposed to have sympathy for Snow.
No.
And I never felt like I needed to have sympathy. I just felt like it was a villain origin story, so it explained things.
Yeah.
I never had sympathy for him.
The main point of it was to show how easy it is to radicalize someone, right?
And that's how I went into this book. Like, that's how I read the book. Like, oh, Suzanne Collins wants us to like feel bad for him, and I was like, I don't think she wants you to feel bad for him.
I think she wants us to recognize patterns so that we can use that information. Like, specifically, I don't think she wants us. I don't think she wants you and me, the adults, to be able to recognize these patterns. I think she wrote it so that teenagers will learn what these patterns are and like see this toxic rhetoric.
Yeah, and a lot of people were like, we didn't want Snow's story or whatever, but I feel like it is. You kind of need it because I feel like it was an integral part of the series, especially with where she decided to insert it in, because he's a big part of the reason that the Hunger Games became what it became. Like, he had like an integral part in creating it the way to be what it was. So like, it's important for that, you know? It's kind of like Would You Eat Yesterday? I don't remember. Like, I do remember, but that's the feeling the writing's giving me pretty slow for a thriller mystery. Though not much of a thriller.
Yeah.
Okay, so I will do this really quick because we will read, friends. I know we've been talking for like an hour. It's fine.
Not quite an hour.
This is what happens when we read each other. Okay, so for cozy games, also, if you've not updated your Switch, do that because you can share games with your household now. So, which is really awesome. It saved me so much money because there was a bunch of games my brother wanted to play that he couldn't play because we didn't have them on both accounts, but now he can just use the what are they called? The virtual game card, and he can play them. So my favorite cozy games to date are Wildflowers, obviously. And then that one is going to run you about $25 on the Switch. I think it's on sale. I don't know. I know it was, but I don't know if that sale is over or not. I didn't buy it during the sale. Coffee Talk, which is about $15. This is like it takes place in 2020. So if that's a problem for you, then maybe not this game, but it's like D&D. It like reminds me of Legends and Lattes, but
what was the name of that?
Coffee Talk.
Coffee Talk. Okay.
So you are a human barista. You don't see yourself ever, but like you can name yourself, right? So you are a human barista who you run a nighttime cafe or coffee shop, and there's a lot of like magical creatures and stuff that come in, and your job is to serve them coffee and listen to their stories. That's what it is. I will say that this is not a game that I would suggest trying to play while doing like audiobooking.
Yeah.
Because there's an actual story that you have to follow with Coffee Talk. So I play Coffee Talk when I'm sick of reading.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
I'm going to take that as a challenge because I also played Baldur's Gate while listening to audiobooks. So I do occasionally listen to audiobooks while doing Coffee Talk, but if you are a person who can't do both, it's definitely because it's also not like voice acted, like fully voice acted. So you don't have to read what is happening, but I really like that one. And then I play Stardew Valley, but I'm not good at it. So
I don't know if you're supposed to be good at Stardew Valley. I just feel like I'm terrible at it. But Stardew Valley, I like that one. I also like Fae Farm. This one is very inclusive. It's you are a fairy. It's a cozy like farm sim essentially, but you're a fairy. You do all the farmy things that you would do in a farm sim. But you can actually choose your pronouns. So they have he, him, she, her, and they, them pronouns. It's like a very inclusive game. And the characters in the game, depending on the pronouns that you pick, they will use the proper pronouns.
Nice.
Yeah. And then I have Sticky Business, which I do like this game, but I play this while I'm audiobooking because like it's a no thought process game. You own a sticker shop and you are packaging you're printing and packaging orders.
Mm-hmm.
It's the whole game. And then of course an oldie but a goodie, Disney Dreamlight Valley. Love that game. It's literally like The Sims meets Disney. I don't know. That's what it is. You are a character, you run around, you meet Disney characters, you do quests. It's fun. And then I have Animal Crossing, but I haven't played that one in a while. So those are all of my cozy games. Also, if you want cozy games for the iPad, Good Pizza, Great Pizza, or Good Coffee, Great Coffee, you can play them on Android also, but I do not suggest paying for them on the Switch because the only way for you to play them on the Switch is on the touch screen. You can't use a controller. So it's not worth like the $10 that they want for it on the Switch. In my opinion, I haven't bought it on the Switch, but it's fun to play like on a tablet or a phone. Yeah. Both Son and hubby love the Spell Shop too. Wonderful. I think this is also a book I'm supposed to be reading with Katie. I think we were going to do an Ari vlog with this book at some point. I don't know.
This was a me bad kind of thing because I bought the physical book and then I realized like as I started, I was like, if I don't have the audio, this is not happening. And then unfortunately, I'm not going to buy the audio because I'm trying so hard to like not.
Which is fair.
Just because like otherwise what happens is what if I buy the audio and I don't love the book and then I bought the physical and the audio.
So here's what I'm going to do. Katie, are you ready?
Yeah.
And you're not going to argue with me. You're just going to hear what I'm going to say.
Oh gosh, maybe. I'm not going to agree to that.
I'm going to talk to Ari. I'm going to see if either she wants to pick a different book. And then you can send me some books that you know we could get audio of easily enough, right? So then she could pick out of those books. Or if she really wants us to read The Spell Shop, because at this point she probably doesn't even remember, to be honest. I could gift you The Spell Shop.
Well, I don't accept that. No.
Of course you don't.
Because
she's like, absolutely not. Because I did buy the audio for The Spell Shop, but it's because I had an extra credit. So like that's honestly the only reason that it even got bought. Or I would have been in the same boat as you. Like I wouldn't have bought the audio when I already had the physical book. See,
if it wasn't cozy fantasy, I wouldn't mind reading it with my eyes. I just know I'm going to literally be like distracted, if that makes so without the audio, my eyes are just going to be like, and we're looking over here and we're focusing over here. What happened? I don't know.
That's fair because I love Legends and Lattes, but I've only ever read the first one with my eyes. And I have reread both books a few times, but I've always reread them with audio.
Yeah. Because like
I think it's romance, the genre.
Yeah, contemporary romance can read with my eyes. Thrillers can read with my eyes. Romantasy can read with my eyes. You know what I mean? It's just if it's a genre like historical fiction, if it's like a memoir and things like that, it's like I want the audio, but that's not my bad. And so I can check and even see because I did put the audio on hold at my library, so I just have to see how long
you could just tell me how long it is, and then we could just schedule around it. Because really what she wants us to do is she wants us to read this book and then do a bunch of activities that she would do. That's the whole concept of the vlog.
Because she's adorable. It's so cute.
Chantel, I love Disney Dreamlight Valley. I played on my iPad and on my Switch. I've actually been cozy gaming a lot more on my iPad just because it's a bigger screen. If I'm real. Like, because I could put it on the TV downstairs, but Ari is pretty consistently using the TV, like when I would have time to like cozy game. So it's just easier for me to cozy game on my iPad.
Fun fact. So Adam and I don't know if I mentioned this. I know I mentioned it to somebody else, but I don't know if I mentioned it here. But because you guys know how much I hate Everand, because I do. I said it with my full chest, and I'll say it again.
Wait. I have another Everand hater here.
Oh yeah, forever.
Oh,
Margaret, I don't
Hated
like
it.
Everand either. The only reason I got it last month for a minute was because I needed the audio for North is the Night, because I was like, there's no way I'm finishing this book without the audio. And the
Katie, I'll tell you the story someday.
only place I could find the audio that wasn't like a 12-week wait so I could read it was Christina.
They messaged me to collab, and I was like, funny, because absolutely not. Like, do you remember my last customer service email? Like, why would you ever think I'd want to collab with you? Anyways, moving on.
Did they accuse you of fraud and then refuse to tell you what that could possibly mean and tell you you're banned for life? Is that?
No, they didn't ban me. It's just, they messed up my, like, what I pay for, and I hate them.
Yeah, no, yeah, it's a story. Me and it goes back all the way to when they were still script.
Yeah.
But I am banned for life.
Things
that I did not do.
I didn't really like Scribd to begin with, because like they claimed that it was like unlimited, and then they capped you like the week before your subscription.
Yeah.
But then it pissed me off when they switched to Everand, and then they were like, oh, by the way, you have to pay $16 for 3 credits of books that you don't actually own.
But it wasn't even like that to begin with, though. This is the thing. So,
it wasn't. They when they switched originally, it stayed that same, like the same way as it was when it was just Scribd. But then when they changed it, that's when I canceled, because I was like, okay, it's a little like, yes, it's irritating that y'all like claim unlimited and then cap me the week before my subscription is supposed to re-up, but I can deal with that. But then y'all want me to pay competitive prices with like places like Audible or Libro FM? No.
Mm-hmm.
Well, like
but then at the beginning of the year, I also got rid of Audible. I'm only using Libro FM really. So
how they mess me up is, so I pay yearly to save money. Like, so with Everand, I just pay the whole year. So when they switched to Everand, I was like, cool, I don't care, whatever, awesome, like it's all good. But then when they switched to the subscription, I was like, cool, I'm grandfathered in. Like, I'm gonna keep, like, all I wanted to do was just keep what I paid for the year, right? Well, then they made it so now nothing I listen to, I can listen to without unlocking it, which it's like, well, I never switched. So what do you mean? So I emailed them and I was like, hey, like, can you just give me a partial refund then? Like, because you aren't giving me what I paid for. I paid for this. I never agreed to any contract with this. And they were basically like, no refunds, no. And so basically, no, absolutely not.
Because what they did was they made it seem like people would be grandfathered in, because I also was a person who paid for Everand by the year, because I pay for everything by the year, because if it's something that I know that I'm going to need all year long, I'm not going, my ADHD does not work in such a way that I remember, even when I write it down, when bills are due. It's just not a thing. So Ari's Disney Plus gets paid for by the year. Kindle Unlimited gets paid for by the year. When I was doing Audible, that was getting paid for by the year. Now Libro FM doesn't give you that option. So what I do is I've just made an arrangement with my brother that I will pay for Libro as we need the credits, is essentially what I'm doing. Because no matter how you pay for Libro, a part of your payment goes to whatever
indie
bookshop. So even if all I'm doing is just paying for packs of credits, which is basically what I'm doing with Libro, I made sure, like I messaged Libro's customer service. I said, if I just buy packs of credits, will that still be donated? And they said yes, like the same amount is still donated. And that's what I care. That's what I care about personally. So, but then Everand was like, oh, well, we're gonna grandfather people in, because that was what they said to begin with, and then they forced everybody to switch.
Yeah.
Well, in America anyway, because Canada has the same way. But
so what we decided is we took the money that I would pay for a yearly subscription to Everand, and we joined some non-resident libraries so I can support libraries and get a better collection. So my whole point, to come full circle, is I can borrow the spell shop right now.
Okay, so in the first sprint, I'll message you and we can kind of coordinate what would work. Because for me, as a person who's doing YouTube full time, I can shuffle things around to accommodate other people or other videos or whatever. Like, I can shuffle things. I guess I'm trying to have more concrete upload days, but I don't have like this video goes up on this date, this video, like that. It's not that concrete. It's just like, I would like to post twice a week, but Tuesday is really the only day that has a dedicated video. Tuesdays at noon, you get the book and coffee chats.
Yeah.
Those are that's the only day where like, that's like a concrete upload. Otherwise, like everything else, like I can move it around. Like I have things penciled into my calendar, but like it can get moved around. I forgot to pre-order that. I don't know what we're pre-ordering. Oh, I think
the second book in the spell shop.
Oh, okay, yeah. I've not pre-ordered that because I want to read the first one first. Because if I don't like the first one, I'm not gonna pre-order the second one. I keep doing this to myself. I bought the second book in the Stars Are Dying series. I bought this Nightfall or whatever. I bought the second one because I was like, oh, I have to get it because if I like the first one, I have to get the second one. And then I haven't even read the first one. But they are pretty. Are they good? I don't know. I've heard very mixed things. So it's fine. It's fine. It's fine. It's fine. I play Animal Crossing almost every day and Mario Kart, but that one gets crazy. Yeah, I also have Mario Kart 8, but I don't know if that is considered a cozy game. I also have that like co-op game. Katie knows which game it is. The one where you cook, but that's not cozy.
Overcooked.
That pisses you. Overcooked. Yeah. I have that because my sister and I, when I go to my sister, I'm allowed to call them my sister, but they're non-binary. So when I go to my sister's and we have, because a lot of times Ari and I will have sleepovers together at my sister's, we will both bring out our Switches and then we will play Overcooked. But that game is not cozy at all. That game is actually a stress fest. Like if you want anxiety, then you play that game. I've mostly been playing June's Journey and Hello Kitty Island Adventure on my iPad lately. I love June's Journey. I also really like Hello Kitty Island Adventure, but I don't know that it's worth $30 or $6 or whatever it is on the Switch. I just don't think that it's like worth that money. So I play on my iPad, but I also pay for Apple Arcade by the year. So it's worth my $50 a year or $6.99 a month to get a whole bunch of games that I might not actually like purchase. But Wildflowers, listen, I played Wildflowers for 20 hours and was like, oh, I'm buying this on my Switch. That's basically how Wildflowers happened on the Switch. So, and I've now beat the game twice. We're not going to talk about that. We're not going to talk about that. I'm on my third playthrough.
You will get zero judgment from the girl who has 5 Baldur's Gate playthroughs in.
Well, the thing is like with this game, like you can change, like if you make other choices slightly different choices, then you get kind of a different outcome every single time. So it's not even like it's the same game, but it's like not, you know?
I tell myself I'm going to make different choices every time. And then I'm like, I can't do that. Those are all mean options.
Yeah. That's amazing that they let you have preferred pronouns. I've gotten a bit bored of farm sims though, which is really fair. Honestly, I was a little skeptical of Wildflowers at first because everybody was saying, like all the cozy gamers were like, yeah, this is just a pretty standard farm sim. And then I started playing it and I was like, this is a life sim. Like, yeah, like you mine and you fish and you farm like you would in a farm sim, but like this is like way deeper than most farm sims. Like even farm sims where you can like marry people. Like Stardew Valley, like it's very, and it's like fully voice acted too. So yeah, my brother got me to buy Coffee Talk. He like begged me to buy it. And so now I'm going to buy the other, there's like 3 or 4 different games. There's like a Tokyo one, there's Coffee Talk 2. There's like a couple different ones. And so I told him I'd buy, especially now that Switch has the update where we can share games in one household. I'm going to buy the rest. Found the audio on Libby. Yeah, that's how I bought it, but I bought it on Audible. Yeah, Libby had a forever hold, but Katie said she can get it. So Hello Kitty Island Adventure looks adorable. It is pretty cute. If you like Animal Crossing, I think that you would like Hello Kitty Island Adventure. They're similar. Hello, Ivy. I hear we're shitting on Everand.
Listen, when we come back, it's a long story, so I'm not going to go into it. But when we come back, I can give you guys a script story.
Yeah.
I canceled 2 years ago. I only use Libro now unless there's an Audible exclusive. And
Same.
honestly, it has. And if it's an Audible exclusive, it has to be something that's not dark romance. I actually just said this to Brittany earlier today because I was like, I do not buy audiobooks, dark romance audiobooks. There are very few exceptions. Butcher and Blackbird was an exception, but I don't usually buy dark romance audiobooks because I'm not going to re-listen to them. And most audiobooks that most audiobooks that I purchase because I know that I'll re-listen to them at some point.
Yep.
I put my TV with my son's Switch, but he's graduating and I'm going on the road in my camper van, so I bought it for my new laptop and an Xbox controller, which has switched the X, Y, and A, B. Yeah, I bought, this is a Nintendo Pro controller that they were running for a while. You can't get it anymore, but this is like the Sailor Moon one. It has Sailor Moon at the top up here, and then it's pink and brown. But it came like it said it was like licensed by them. It came in like a Nintendo Switch box, all of that. And it has all the haptics and stuff. So like with any games that have like the vibration, it does all of that. So yeah, I bought a Pro controller just because I knew I was gonna hook it up to my Switch, and I'm not a huge fan of the Xbox controllers, if I'm honest, but they all work about the same. I have to read the Stars Are Dying series. I have the first and the second and third on pre-order. They are just too pretty not to. That's what I'm saying, dude. That's what I'm saying. The second one's out, Christina, because I have it. It's purple, I think. I think it's purple or red, something. Hi, Ashley. Play Hello Kitty in the Apple Arcade and just pay monthly. I don't think it's worth the price to pay for the game on Switch. Yeah. I did not marry the same person both times. So on my original save, because when I say I beat the game, I mean I finished the main gameplay. There's like other things you can do at the end. So like I'm playing through like the rest of the game. So I married Wesley the first time, but he and I got divorced because there's an achievement where you're supposed to marry all of the characters, and I'm nothing if not a completionist. And then on my second save on my iPad, I'm currently dating Amira. So I'm going to marry Amira at some point. So yeah. I have 1 and 2, third on pre-order. Yeah. Okay, I got you, Christina. Yeah, I have the third one on pre-order too, which I probably shouldn't, but it's fine. The Pro controller I bought wouldn't work for DDLV. Got you. There's actually a lot you can do after the listen, I want the magic animals. Okay? That's what I'm waiting for. Like I'm waiting for, they said we were supposed to have magic animals. I don't have magic animals yet. So the game
magic animals.
Well, I haven't
That's important. You got to get the magic animals.
Right. And I haven't even unlocked like the last 2. I think you get like pigs and alpacas or something. And I haven't even gotten those yet. So I'm just like, we're just going to play. I mean, they keep giving me quests to do. So I'm just going to keep doing them until I get everything. It's fine. Do we want to read, friends?
Or something like that.
Truly, I've loved catching up though. Truly.
Yeah.
I'm not even mad about it, to be honest. Okay, so is an hour okay for the two of you? Yeah. Do we want more? Do we want more?
Hour sounds fine to me. That'll give me enough time to make sure.
You're our leader. You tell us.
I am the leader.
Fearless leader.
I'm just kidding. This is not a cult, people. I promise. I'd be a terrible cult leader, I think.
You would be.
I would be. Listen, I would be the cult leader that's like, come join my cult, and then people were like, I don't do this, and I'd be like, okay. You
try to make us all shave our heads, and then get upset the first person that cried, and be like, okay, never mind, we're not shaving heads.
I'm just kidding. I'm so sorry. I didn't mean to make you cry. It's hair. It'll grow back. I'll buy you a wig. Like that's who I am as a person. Like I just want everyone to be comfortable. You know what I mean?
The special underwear. No. Oh, it's scratchy. I'm so sorry. We won't do that.
Yeah. I saw in your video that you were reading it. Yeah, I started it. The Stars Are Dying. I started it for something. And then I ran out of time. It was at the beginning of the year, during the time when I was juggling like 6 books. And now I've changed the way that I'm reading. So everything has just gone back on the TBR cart until it fits for a TBR. I had to do that because it was to the point where I was reading like 6 books at once and then I was retaining nothing. So
that makes sense.
So I got, I think, to chapter like 3 or 4 and I was vibing with it. Like I wasn't hating it by any means. I know some people have said that they thought it was boring. I think Brittany read it and she said that she enjoyed it up until like halfway through. So it could be, for me, I'm gonna read it because sometimes I'm the anomaly, right? I'm the person that's like that everyone hates it, and then I'm like, oh, I really enjoyed it, or whatever, you know. So I married the werewolf and I divorced him because he would stand in front of the sink and just huff and puff, breathing, super annoying. Chantel, he does do that. That's not why I divorced him. I actually divorced him because I wanted to get the achievement of marrying everybody that's marryable, because there's only 8. There's 8 romanceable characters through the whole game. And each one except one of them, like the one that's introduced after the main gameplay, who's romanceable, I don't think you get an achievement for them, but the main 7 you do. So I was like, well, I'll just marry them. But he did do that a lot. Like every time he was a werewolf, he would just stand in front of the sink and he'd like, it's like he was trying to blow the house down or something. I was like, relax. I married Wesley and he was very emo all the time. Also, I thought it was so weird that like you would go to bed, but you would go to bed by yourself when you're married. Like you're married and like you would go to put like Tara to bed and she would just go to bed by herself. And Wesley would just be standing at the damn sink.
Very I Love Lucy of them.
Like the big bad wolf. I don't know. Here's the thing. And it took so much to marry Wesley. Because you can't just like talk to him every day. Like a lot of the characters, you can talk to them every day. And then eventually that will like fill the hearts and unlock like these cutscenes. With Wesley, you had to jump through so many freaking hoops. It took me half the game just to get the man to date me. And I was like, this is a lot of effort for a guy who just stands around all day. I thought you were intelligent because you ran a bookstore, but I was wrong. It's fine. You had to go to that damn bridge at very specific times. Yeah. And I'm trying to go to sleep at 8 p.m. I'm not trying to be in another realm standing on a bridge. I'm not trying to do that. I'm so sorry. I'm a grandma. It is what it is. Okay, we're going to read. For an hour. So, I mean, I'm loving the discussion of cozy games. Am I the only one who plays cozy games? Katie, do you play cozy games?
I don't love playing them on the Switch. So
okay, but do you play them like anywhere else? Like, do you play like on Steam?
I play them on the PC. So like Coral Island, Disney Dreamlight Valley. I have this Cat Cafe Manager one. I have this museum one. It's like a 2-point something museum. Hilarious. Yeah. Oh, and then Adam and I are gonna start playing Split Fiction.
Oh, fun.
Yeah.
Honestly, my goal is to get a PC. I was actually talking to my brothers about it because they both have PCs, right? So one uses my dad's laptop, and then my older, he's younger than me, but he's older, like in age. He's 22, okay, or 23. I'm 33, so he's like 10 years younger than me. So I'm the oldest, but he has like a desktop PC. So I was talking to him about it because I was like, I know nothing about building like a PC or like what I'm supposed to be buying or anything like that. So he was like, I can help you. He's like, it's going to be kind of expensive. And I was like, okay, I expect it to be all right. Like this, I'm not, but I don't want to buy a Mac to play games on. I'm not doing that. Like I'm going to buy a and I'm going to do Steam because I have a Steam account. That's the thing is I have a Steam account. I've used it in the past, but I haven't had a PC like in years. So he was like, okay, this is what you need to do. So my goal by the end of 2025 is to have a PC, even if I only use it to game on.
She's
yeah, I'm allowing myself to use a PC just to game on.
I mean, that's what I do.
There's a reason why I have I went and got a laptop instead of getting myself a desktop setup this time around. Eventually, I do want to also have a desktop setup, but for now.
Yeah, because my MacBook works fine for like editing and like everything else that I do. But I want to be able to play The Sims, and my Mac does not run The Sims well. My dad says, because he has like a better, like mine is old. Like my Mac is pretty old. Like I bought it in 2018 or 2020. So like it's older. They've had better ones. And he said that if I was to get a new laptop, which I am planning on doing, that I probably would be able to run The Sims on one of the newer ones. So I'm contemplating doing that, just because when I bought The Sims in 2020, it ran on this computer fine, and so I bought a bunch of expansions, and I don't think they're like transferable. So I would like lose all of those expansions, and that would make me sad. But like if I have to start over, I have to start over. Like I don't care. I just want to be able to play The Sims, and I want to be able to play whatever else I can find on Steam.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Nice.
I needed to buy a laptop because I'm losing the Switch, and a full PC won't fit my tiny van. That's fair. That's fair. And there are good like gaming laptops. I just feel like since I live in a house, I can just buy a PC for gaming.
Yeah. This one is an MSI Stealth 15. I think they have a newer. It's 6 years old, so they probably have a newer version.
Right.
And then I also have my new one is the Asus. This one is hanging on by its like it still doesn't work some days. But I also have an Asus Zephyrus, the 14-inch, which I love.
Yeah. So I'm gonna join the PC girlies for cozy gaming. I told my brother to pick one that would play Sims 4 and DDLV. I hate shopping, so he did it. Yeah, basically my brother was like, "What are you trying to play?" And I was like, "Cozy games. I'm trying to play The Sims, and I'm trying to play like Wildflowers." And he's like, "Okay, you're not trying to play like World of Warcraft or anything that's like running a lot." And I was like, World of Warcraft was my high school identity.
I think this is the first one that I researched on my own and decided on before consulting my brother. I was like, "Hey, what do you think of this one? Have you heard anything about it?" Before I bought it, but like,
yeah,
most of it. This one I got it because this is what he had.
Yeah, and like I said, most of my gaming right now is being done with my controller on my iPad, and like that works fine. But yeah, there are just some games I can't get on Apple Arcade. You know what I'm saying? So, all right, friends, let's read. So I will see everybody in an hour. Hello, friends. How did we fare? How did we do?
That would be me first, wouldn't it?
Sure.
Sure. We made dinner. We got food.
Good.
And a donut.
Wonderful.
That was what we did. I pulled the heavier sweaters out of my closet, so they're going to go up with the winter clothes.
Wonderful. I mean, listen, productivity looks different depending on what you need to do. You know what I'm saying? How did you do, Katie?
I didn't read. Well, yeah, no, I didn't read. And I was watching an episode of Ransom Canyon, I think it's called, and then set up all my sprints for May and disassociated, and we're back.
The mood.
That's fair. I did read, but I did not read Her Soul to Take. So it's fine. I listened to Zodiac Academy because I do need to, like, that is a book that I need to get read. But it is like the only book that I have currently on audiobook, and I was like, I want to read an audiobook because I wanted to play Wildflowers. So that's what I did. I played Wildflowers and listened to Zodiac Academy. And like Zodiac Academy 1 is like fine. It's like I need to reread it in order to like move on with the series. So there's a little twist to how KU Cleanout is going to work for this episode. And this is one of the books that got picked based off of that twist. So, and I knew I needed to reread book 1 before I could move on to anything else, because I read book 1 in like, I don't know, 2023 or something. But I mean, it's not like the best thing I've ever read. Also, the fact that they keep saying Converses instead of just saying Converse is fucking me up. Like if I'm talking about like a pair of Converse, I do not say Converses. I legitimately, like when I'm talking about a pair, I'll say like, oh, I'll go put my Converse on. I ran in my Converse. I bought a pair of Converse. These motherfuckers are talking about in my Converses. And I'm like, no.
That could be a thing where they don't know. I mean, because like I've heard it used interchangeably. It could also be a house style. Is this a trap pub or is this indie pub or soft pub?
I'm pretty sure it's indie pub.
Okay.
They were indie published, but they are, yeah.
Okay, so the author published them themselves first, and then okay.
Because I know, like when they first hit KU, they were indie pub.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So never mind. Then that's that. I was gonna say it could be like a style thing because different publishers have different style guides that they use. So sometimes there will be things that are like driving people nuts. And I've heard authors talk about like before, like I hate that, like, I don't know, gray. There's 2 different ways to spell gray depending on whether you're like
right
the UK or the US. And I know people who are like, I can't stand they make me spell it this way, but I have to spell it this way, even though the way I usually spell it is this.
Right.
If I'm published with an American publishing house or whatever.
I mean, I am listening to it relatively quickly. Like I'm listening to it at 2.5 speed just because it's not like painful to listen to it at 2 times speed, but it still felt a little slow. You know what I mean? Like listening wise. And so like it does pull me out for a second every time she says Converses. Like I hear it every time she says it. And I was kind of hoping, because I knew that it was in the text, but I was like, well, maybe if it's being read to me, like I won't like
hear it
as much, but I still really like notice it every time she says it, and it fucks me up. I don't know. This really could be like a personal issue, and that's fine. But I mean, otherwise, like I'm vibing with the book itself. Like it's fine. It's a bully romance, so like keep that in mind if you think you want to pick this up. Because if you don't like bully romance, you won't like this at all. Like they're mean to that. Like these dudes are mean to them from the moment that they step foot in this school. And I've heard that it just gets worse. So like, it's fine. I love a good bully romance. I'm just saying, if you don't read this book. Let's see. I don't know where we left off. Here. We left off here. Ashley was asking if anyone else is doing Escape the Readathon. I feel like maybe I should join this. I was gonna take a month off, but like shit.
Join us.
To be honest.
Everybody's on freaking podcasters. I'm like, do I redeem myself by joining Team Podcasters? Because I didn't join Katie's team for Realmathon. Like, do I redeem myself?
Jess is also there.
I think I'm going to. I think I'll go sign up. It's not too late to sign up, right?
No.
Okay.
No.
Okay, I'll go sign up in the next.
Sign up.
If I come back to this sprinting and I have not signed up for Escape the Readathon, someone yell at me. Katie, yell at me. Okay?
Nice.
Because I feel like this is my redemption arc. See, everybody's saying to join, so I guess I'm joining. Because I'm not, you know, it doesn't take a lot to sway me. You know what I'm saying? Hello to Paula. Chris finished their book and it's now 5 a.m. So they're going to try to sleep. Thank you so much for hanging out. We love having you. Hope to see you again soon. Everyone's saying good night to Chris. So nice having you. Ashley read 45 pages of Bat Eater. Wonderful. I don't actually know how much of this book I read. I think I got through like 2 chapters. I don't know how much that actually is. I could look on my Kindle, but I'm too lazy because my Kindle will whisper sync between the two. So there's that. Christina started the border of the blanket, got about 2 feet and pulled it out. Chatted a bit. Posted Kooky Delusions for Kooky Mayhem Readathon. Wonderful.
Christina, if it makes you feel better, I'm doing this row, this like 5 rows that I thought were all the same color because I was looking at my graph. It looks like they're all the same color. They're not. One of these rows should be yellow. I was 3 rows in, and I was like, you know what? Fuck that. So yeah, relatable, Christina.
I'm not gonna lie. The first 10 minutes of me playing Wildflowers was just me sitting at the hair salon buying hairdos. We're not gonna talk about it. Now that I have like the hair salon unlocked, because like I'm on the other side of the, you know, main game, I just like change her clothes and her hair every day. Sometimes multiple times. Sometimes I'm like, oh, you know, we're not working right now, so let's wear some casual clothes. You know what I mean? She's a person. Got to 30% of It's You Every Time by Charlene Thomas. Wonderful. Ashley read the first 3 to 4 ZA books. Still need to finish the series, but there are a lot of books and some are so long. Well, here's the other thing too, and I say this in my KU cleanout vlog, because I also filmed the introduction, like the intro to the new episode or to the next episode of this. I was like, if there's a specific way I'm supposed to read these, let me know and I'll read them in like the way that people tell me to read them. Because if you go on Instagram and you look for like the reading order of these books, it's worse than Sarah J. Maas, dude. Like it is so like
my
because they're like, oh, you need to put it, there's 3 spin-offs, so you need to slot this book in between these books. I'm like, what? No, I don't know if I can do all that. But if that's really like the way that I need to read them, I will. I just need to have like a definitive way to read them. Katie and I are now friends instead of enemies. We love to see it, Kristen, because you know y'all were beefing. Y'all were truly beefing.
We had playful banter. Okay.
Y'all were beefing. Okay.
We were fine.
Every sprint I was in, it was just inundated with ravens, and
that's how I show love, is by talking smack.
Dinners, and you know, it's fine. Sign up ASAP. Come to the podcasters. All right, I'm coming to the podcasters, Ashley, because I need my redemption with Katie. You know what I mean? We need to be besties again. So
we're always besties. Always.
The podcasters. I need to be the bestest bestie. No, I'm just like.
Oh,
terrible news for both of you for October.
Yeah, Vanessa. I know she joined a whole other team.
No, Vanessa is a game master, so her whole point is that she's trying to keep us from escaping. So she is the enemy to all.
Got you. What did you say about Fablin, Margaret?
I said I have terrible news for you two about October.
You know what? At this point, as a person who has helped to host or co-host or whatever enough readathons, I just assume that if someone asks me to co-host a readathon, which I am really proud of myself because I've been asked to do quite a few this year that like people don't even know about that I've been asked to do, and I said no because I told myself that 2025 I was not going to do what I did last year. Like in 2024, people asked me and I was like, yes, I was doing a readathon every month in 2024. I don't mean like participating in a readathon because when you participate, you can kind of do it however you need to. I mean, I was helping co-host a readathon. I checked my calendar. There were only 2 months out of the whole 2024 where I was not co-hosting something. And I was like, no, girl, you can't do that again. You were burnt out by October. Like you wanted to die.
Yeah. I literally co-hosted.
I made it to November.
I co-hosted 2 in September at the same time.
There was so much. So I'm like really proud of myself for like, you know, using no as a complete sentence. You know?
Yeah.
My old pa would say. And so like but I've just assumed that if I have agreed to co-host readathon, I'm not going to be with any of my friends. Like I'm just going to get split. It's fine. I'm just going to be like being with my friends for like a month and then we're going to go back and then the readathon will end. And we're like, we love each other so much. You know what I mean? Like we're competitive for that month and then we're fine. We're good. Because we're just competitive during it. Yeah.
You did kind of team with Leandra last year. So, I mean, I guess I let you have one friend.
You did. I was with Leandra last year. That was the first time I think that I had co-hosted with Leandra.
Mm-hmm.
Oh no, I had done. Did I co-host with her? Maybe I had also done boy bands with Leandra, but I don't remember if she was a co-host or if she just was on my team because I was Team Jonas Brothers for that. Yeah, Margaret's connection is a little spotty. It's not like terrible, like you're a little pixely, but it's not like your internet has been worse. I'll just say that.
Yeah, no, we just had our internet carrier changed. I don't know if I feel like it's been worse than normal, but that's just me. Maybe I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, you kind of like your talking isn't really lagging at this point, but you're a little like pixely.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I'll look and see what Larry Reed's did. Because to be honest, Larry Reed's is the reason that I even had this series on my radar. Larry Reed's is the reason I started reading dark romance, if I'm going to be honest. Because
I usually
that's just the way it is, even if I don't like it. So.
I usually go by publication order for things, unless the author has a suggested reading order that is different.
What is my computer doing?
I always endeavor to do so.
Mm-hmm. Shut up. Thank you. Okay, sorry. My assistant, I don't know what I said, but she thought she should make an appearance. For old time's sake. Caw-caw.
I love it.
This is my first Escape the Readathon. So fun. Sass is our primary love language. We love some sass. I mean, have you met Ari? I mean, y'all haven't met her, but you've seen her. You've heard her. Sass is strong in this house. I'm just saying. Is something people can join in on, even if they have not previously. It sounds perfect for the boys. They love D&D.
Yes, it is clean slate. It'll be a clean slate in October. It's not like Aurelian, where like you have stuff that you can kind of like keep track of and follow. So unless you participated in the what did I call it? The weekend one shot?
Yeah, the weekend one shot.
It'll be carried over. Unless you want to use your free weekend.
Thank you, timer. Shut the hell up. Yeah, I was gonna say I think the only thing is like if you participate in the weekend one shot, then like you have something that you get. I don't know. I'm sorry, Margaret. I didn't participate in the weekend one shot. I just had too many. Deal.
You had a lot going on that weekend.
I had actually planned on participating in the weekend one shot, and then listen, my life in 2025, it started out great. Okay. And then it quickly went downhill. That just is what it is. And it's fine. Like, I'm just going with the flow at this point. But like things that were supposed to be happening this year are not happening now. And I'm tired. You know, I'm tired, friends. And so I'm just to the point where I'm like, am I letting everyone down? Maybe. But also, all I could do is sleep. And Margaret told me I'm not letting anyone down, and I believe her. So
I'm truly just manifesting that the second half of 2025 will be good to us.
Yeah.
I am also manifesting this because honestly, I mean, like, I can, you know, like when you're like in the thick of it, but like you can see the light, kind of. Like you, like there has, like you can see that there has to be an end somewhere. So I feel that we're just going to get into like the summertime and everything is just going to smooth out. I just think that I need the time to like, I mean, yes, the kids will be home, you know, in like two or 3 weeks, like, cause school ends like at the end of the month. So like, yes, the kids will be home, but I think that because the kids will be home, like I will be able to just kind of do what I need to do. You know what I mean? Because like our summers are full of like a lot of like going to the library, going to the park, but they're just like slower days. I don't have to worry about as much.
Can't relate.
Yeah. And also, I'm just casting people out left and right. I just don't care. It's fine. No one here, of course. Y'all, whatever. You're stuck with me, bro. I'm so sorry to tell you. If you thought you had a choice in that, you don't. So I'm so sorry for you. But you're not one of those females. So sorry. But I mean, things have to figure itself out eventually, right?
It does eventually, yes.
It's just for a season, not for.
I try to remind myself that you can't appreciate the good if you don't have the bad. So, you know,
I have to remind myself of this as well because I'm like, listen, it's getting a little exhausting out here, but yeah. All right. How are y'all feeling?
I am signing off.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to head out here soon.
Okay, so Margaret, do you need to leave now? Do you need to leave in 45 minutes? What do you need to do?
I probably need to leave like now, just so I'm a functional human being tomorrow.
Okay, so in reality, then what I'm gonna do, because it is 9:45 for me, which means it's 9:45 for Katie, which means it's 10:45 for Margaret. And we all have to get up and be functional adults. So these are very short because we talked for an hour in the first half, which is fine. So I'm just going to.
I could do like a short one if you wanted to do like a 30-minute sprint. I could pull that off.
Are you?
But
sure?
not like another hour. Oh yeah. It's just like if we do
like the longest I was going to do is 45 minutes. I wasn't going to do another hour. I'll be asleep. And then we'll just be chronically online because like no one will be awake to turn it off.
It'll be me going, well, guys, Neva's asleep.
Have a good night. And Margaret turns her camera off and that's it.
I go stuck here.
Goodbye.
I don't do that with Eva's friends that for the Fable weekend because she took out her router in the middle of sprint.
That happened with 24-hour sprints a couple months ago too.
I remember when there was a 24-hour sprint that was supposed to start out.
What, Katie?
I remember when there was a 24-hour stream, like sprint weekend, and we were supposed to start, and everyone was like waiting and talking in the chat, and then people were like, "Hey, I think Neva's still asleep." So then another host just started. It was hilarious.
Yep. Yes, that happened. That happened actually right after we moved because I had changed the time, and so it was like 2 hours earlier than what I was used to, and I just slept right through my alarm, and everybody's like, I think Neva's still asleep. I freaking woke up, bro, and somebody else had already, I think Brittany or somebody had already started. They were like, we'll just do it, and I was like, I am so sorry, friends. It's fine. Everybody comes through in the end. You know what I'm saying? Okay, so what we'll do is me and Margaret will do a 30-minute sprint. And Katie, is there anything that you want to shout out before you leave?
Make sure you support my wonderful friends and show them all the love. And yeah, hopefully we can do another like Thursday night or something shenanigans again soon. So that's it.
We'll coordinate something, Katie.
Yeah.
Because at this point, I'm just doing random sprints throughout the week. I'm not necessarily doing a specific day. So if there's like a day that you're like, hey dude, let's sprint on your channel, on my channel, on whoever's channel, we can do it.
I'm the kind of person where it's like, listen, if you're sprinting and it's like, you know, I'm off, you know what I mean? Like it's like later in the evening, always shoot me a link and I'll do what I can. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I'm the same way.
Yeah.
Like the worst thing I'm going to be is like, I'm so sorry, this is not a good night.
Even if you can pop in, like that's the thing is I don't expect people to ever stay the whole time. It's like even if you pop in for an hour, we'll say, hey, whatever. You know what I mean? Like I get it, right? Especially during the week. It's like, oh my gosh, we're all living our lives, you know?
Exactly. Kristen, I join the broadcasters. I will do that in the next 30 minutes.
I'm gonna be looking for you in the Discord.
Good night, Ashley. Okay. All right. So Margaret and I are gonna do one more 30-minute sprint. Katie, we love to have you.
Bye,
and
guys.
Katie and Margaret will be linked. I forgot to do it last sprint, but they will be linked in the description in the next sprint. I will do that, and I will sign up for the readathon. Okay.
Yeah.
Podcast is a little more important.
Yes. Well,
right?
Yes. I'll do that first and then link.
Do it. Okay. Perfect. Bye, guys.
Bye, Katie. Okay. Hold on. I'm going to move us around here in a second, but let me reset this timer.
Move us around.
And then I will move us around.
Put me wherever you need me.
So that we don't look like we're missing a person. What? Okay, I don't care. I just want you to reset. Thank you. That's a new feature of this.
Neva, I'm so far behind on this blanket.
I'm sorry, dude. One day you'll catch up. I don't know when that is, but one day.
This is April 7th. I was out of yarn.
Well, didn't you have to go find the yarn somewhere else?
Yeah, I went and found it. I just had to wait for it to come in, and then by the time it came in, the bug was gone. So I was like, oh, well, now we have to wait till I have motivation to do this again.
Right. I feel you.
Here we are.
All right, friends. We're going to do a 30-minute sprint, and then Margaret and I will come back, shout out things on our channel, and then we'll leave you. So we'll see y'all in 30 minutes. Oh, crap. How did we do?
Winter clothes have been folded. I wore myself up and back up in the closet. I cannot currently actually. So I have a little bitty walk-in closet. So I cannot currently actually walk in the closet because I have some boxes in there that I need to get rid of. So it's one of those things where I'm having to lift this giant, but you guys saw behind me, over my head and lean forward and figure out. Yeah, that took a minute. So I got it done.
Good job, bud. I'm proud of you.
Thank you.
I listened to the rest of the chapter of my book and then listened to music and played Wildflowers. So it's fine. I got some reading done today, so I'm not even really mad about it. You know what I mean? Because really the goal for me is to get a little bit of reading done every day, regardless of what that looks like. You know what I mean? Yep. So as long as I spend, I try to do 30 minutes of non-audiobook reading a day.
Mm-hmm.
Just because with audiobooks, in no way do I think that audiobooks are not reading, but for me, I know that I'm going to consume audiobooks faster than I'm going to consume books I read with my eyeballs. And books I read with my eyes usually take me longer to consume, but also I am less likely to
pick them up.
Yeah, I'm less likely to tune them out if I'm, you know what I mean, because I have to use all of my concentration to read with my eyes.
Yeah, I understand that.
So I try to balance it out because I do do a lot of audiobooks. I try to balance it out with 30 minutes of, Kindle reading is my physical reading, but so I will read probably a chapter or two of Her Soul to Take before I go to bed, because I'm after you get off here, I'm doing my nighttime routine, and part of my nighttime routine is reading a little bit on my Kindle. So I'll probably read a chapter or so before I go to bed, and so that'll counterbalance everything.
Yeah, that makes sense. Even so, audiobooks and physical books are both reading in the sense that in both cases you're consuming story.
Right.
But they do exercise slightly different parts of your brain when we're talking about how you consume them, right?
Right. And I will also say that I rely on audio. I do listen to a lot of audiobooks, but I've noticed a pattern of audiobooks for me usually are consumed more heavily when either I'm slumping, right? So I want to be so I want to read, but I don't have the concentration to focus on anything because I feel nothing's catching my attention for whatever reason. Because usually if I'm in a book slump, it's because I've read either a book that really did not sit well with me, or I've read multiple books in a row that I rated lowly.
Yeah.
I'm pretty good at DNFing at this point, so usually I won't slump from finishing a book that I didn't like. But sometimes that can still happen, especially if it's a buddy read or something. Because I always feel bad DNFing a buddy read. I don't know about anybody else, but I always feel a little bit of guilt when I DNF a buddy read, but so it's either because I'm slumping or because it's the end of the day and I'm tired, because then I will default to audio because I know that I can do something else to keep my brain awake while listening. But I also have to be relatively choosy about what books I consume as audio. I can't do super high fantasy with a lot of world building and things you have to pay attention to is really hard for me to do just audiobook.
Yeah, that makes sense.
I need to read that.
I've been trying, just to kind of help with my focus, I've been trying to read physically more often, because like audiobooks are great for when I'm in a space where I need like more than one thing to like I'm working on something or my brain's turned off.
Right.
They definitely don't help necessarily with me being able to like focus on things. So I've been trying to just kind of work on that a little bit.
I don't know, Margaret, if this happens to you, but I noticed that I can always tell when the proportion of audio to like physically reading with my eyes is unbalanced, because I will like go to try to read physically, whether that's like a physical, like an actual book, my Kindle, and it's like I forgot how to read words on a page.
I think for me, it's more an issue of me being able to like stay on one thing.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
That's where I run into issues. So
yeah. I never know if this is like a thing that other people deal with, but it'll be like I'll have consumed, we'll say like 3 or 4 audiobooks in a row, and then I'll be like, oh, I miss reading on my Kindle, and then I'll pick my Kindle up and it's like gibberish. It's like I don't know what I'm looking at. So then I have to like find an audiobook that I can also like immersion read on my Kindle, and then that kind of gets me back into like reading with my eyes. I also did join the podcasters on that sprint as well. Nice. I did do that. So I joined the podcasters. I am gonna go actually like watch Lexi's video. I think it says that I did watch it because I thumbs it up. I think what happened is I clicked on it like while she was doing the premiere, and because I had told myself that I probably wasn't gonna do any readathons, like I watched it like out of like I had it playing like, out of like solidarity, like because I like to consume my friend's stuff, right? And so I don't know if Lexi considers me her friend, but you know what I mean. People that I know in the book space, I like to consume their stuff, but sometimes that means that I just turn it on in the background because I'm not actually planning on like participating in it necessarily, but like I still want you to get the watch time.
I feel like she's like a first cousin through Leandra, right?
Well, for you, maybe. I actually met Leandra later. So. I met Leandra after Lexi because how my YouTube journey started was I worked at Dunkin' in Indiana, right? And during that time, Michelle and Lexi were doing their Wednesday sprints.
Yeah.
And so because I was at work during those sprints, because they started at like 11 a.m., I think. Because I was at work during those sprints, we were allowed to wear a headphone in our ear. So I would have an AirPod in and I would just listen to their sprints. And then when they would go into a sprint, I would actually set a timer on my Apple Watch and listen to an audiobook. And then I would set the timer to go off like 2 or 3 minutes before the end of the actual sprint so that I had time to like switch over in case like we got busy or whatever. And that's how I would do it. So that's how like me and Brittany connected, was actually in the comments of that sprint. I actually think I met Leandra through Brooklyn.
I met Leandra through y'all, and so I knew I was following Lexi previously. It's just like my connection to, like, if we were to trace through the BookTube family tree, it would be through Leandra, in my opinion. Like, personally.
Yeah, because I knew Lexi because I had actually sprinted. Like, if you go way back on someone's channel, like you'll find like sprints with me and Lexi and Michelle and Brittany, and then like Michelle and Lexi both were like guest people on like the original 24-hour sprints, like when I was running them all on my own channel.
Yeah.
And so, I mean, and like, you know, friendships ebbed and flowed or whatever. But I'm pretty sure that I like caught the premiere and I just liked it, but I didn't really pay enough attention. So I don't actually know really what's going on. So I have to go watch that. But I did sign up, and I do have Margaret and Katie linked down below. This is just everybody saying good night to Katie. And
there is a helpful Google Doc that you can use if you start to think maybe I watched this. She does have a Google Doc link with all like the 6 main prompts and everything.
Yeah, I have that too. I did look for during the sprint.
I watch videos, but I prefer Google Docs because I feel like a lot of the time when it's like information that I need to follow along with,
Right.
like it's just better for me that way because I'm referencing that constantly instead of having to go back to the video and find the specific part. You can't control F of a YouTube video.
Right. Well, and I did read the Google Doc, but I'm gonna go watch the video just to make sure there's nothing else I need to know, and then, but the Google Doc, if a readathon has a Google Doc, the Google Doc just stays open in a tab the entire month, because once I understand what's happening, then I just reference the Google Doc.
Yep.
I don't I'm like you. I don't rewatch the video usually, unless there's just like a lot of information or something. Thanks for hanging out, Christina, podcasters. Watch to know why Vanessa is sus.
I didn't know why Vanessa is sus.
Yeah.
Her name is Vanessa. It's the same name as the Wicked Witch from Little Mermaid.
I mean, you're not wrong.
You see what I'm going for?
Yeah, Margaret and Katie are both linked down below. So if you're not following them, I don't know really what you're doing. But go follow them. We love them on this channel, obviously. Margaret, do you have anything that you want to shout out?
I just posted our fantasy TBR end of last week, so like a week tomorrow. That one is still kind of relevant, so I would love to like have people check it out. Let me know if they have any suggestions for books I could read. Let me know if they have any questions for books that they should read. Just come talk to me on the internet.
Yeah.
And then we do have I need to make an announcement about that and schedule them. We do have the Holy Terrors live show coming up on Saturday I need to double check with Leander what time we decided on. It's either noon or 2 o'clock, and I'm not sure which one that we decided on. So,
oh, Margaret, I love you.
I'll let you know for when it gets scheduled, right?
Yeah, it'll be fine. We'll see it when it's scheduled.
Yeah.
For me, I posted my May Wheels of TBR game yesterday, so that is up. And then if you are any part of my paid Patreon, so $2 and up, everyone is getting access to the, what are we watching? The Grey's Anatomy watch along. That starts on Saturday at not 10. That starts on Saturday at 7 p.m. Central, 8 p.m. Eastern. My plan is to watch 2 episodes per Saturday. There might be some Saturdays where like we can watch more than that. I am just waiting because I did make a different YouTube channel specifically for those lives. I'm just waiting for not monetization, for me to have permission to live stream on the channel that I made. So that should be done tomorrow. By the time I get up in the morning, it should be ready for me to do that. And then I will schedule it. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to schedule the entire month of Patreon, because there are a couple people in here that I know are in the Patreon. I'm going to schedule the entire month of Patreon live stream or live shows. And then there will be all the links will be in the Patreon, like on the Patreon page, and it should email you also. If it doesn't for some reason and you're in the Patreon, let me know and I can make sure that you get the links and stuff. But I watched it on TV today, so I have to go back on laptop to comment. Wish there was a way to do that on TV. Honestly, me too, because I actually do watch a lot of YouTube on the TV if I'm downstairs. Just because it's easier, like it's a bigger screen than my phone.
Yeah.
I don't
want my face on a big screen. Ooh. Oh. Mm-mm.
You look great, Margaret, honestly. But also, like I would never want to walk into someone's house and see myself on their TV. So like,
I'm actually, for as long as I've been doing YouTube and as many times as I've had like trolls come on my YouTube channel, which has not been terribly often, but I'm honestly surprised. Like as long as I've been on the internet,
yeah,
I haven't had anyone say anything mean about my skin condition. Like, that is very odd and not normal to real life.
I also think that we're not in like the beauty space.
Yeah.
Like we're in the health space.
Especially now that I'm like on TikTok and like I'm posting shorts. It's just one of those things where it's like so many like nasty people can like find your stuff. You never know. And I'm just surprised because I know more people watch my stuff than comment on it.
Right.
Like the closest I've had to somebody trying to pick on my appearance was mentioning that like my eyebrows are not entirely there in places. And I'm like, yeah, I know that. Why is that supposed to offend me?
Right. I've never had anyone say anything about my appearance, but when I first started on BookTube, because, well, I mean, I don't get it because I don't get it as much now. Like, I think people have just figured out that, like, I don't care and, like, I'm going to talk about what I want to talk about. But I would get a lot of, like, there would be probably one comment per, like, video or live stream replay where somebody would be like, no one cares about your personal life or something, like, along those lines. And I'm like,
how YouTube works? Just curious, do they not know how YouTube works?
Well, and it was always whenever I would have so the live streams, like I swear to God, like these people would like scrub the live streams or something because it would always be on live streams where people were like we were talking about dark romance and people were asking me like BDSM specific questions.
That feels relevant to the discussion.
Right. And it was always, and that's the thing is like it was always relevant to the conversation. And like people, even now, like people will ask me like certain questions, right? Because I'm the resident BDSM bestie, which is fine. But because of that, like I would get comments that were like, no one cares about your sex life or whatever like that. And honestly, like even when I talk about BDSM, like I will use very like generic examples, but like I really don't go into much about like my personal life unless it's like an actual experience that I've had.
Yeah.
And even then, like I don't disclose enough information for you to get much from it.
Yeah.
So like, you know, people are weird on the internet, dude. That's why I don't think I could have a channel. I'm not sure my skin is thick enough. I mean, I just tell people, I mean, you have to just be able to. I mean, I have gotten nasty comments, but for the most part, I can just delete them and move on. Like, it's not something that I usually like really think about. Like once I see the comment,
I've had at the worst of my skin condition, I've had complete strangers come up to me while I was sitting by myself at restaurants and be like, "Did you have a sunburn? Like, just walk up to talk to me." So like after having that happen, whatever.
Yeah, I mean for me,
also, Chantel, there are channels that do stuff where you don't see your face.
Yeah,
so there is a way to if you were interested, there is a way to do faceless content.
There is, if you want to watch someone who does faceless content. Summer Sayer, Sayre, she does faceless content because she started as a tarot card channel and then came over into the book space. So I think sometimes she still does tarot, or maybe she has a second channel. I can't remember. But I became friends with her through the book space, and she does not show her face. Now, I know that she said that she would like to start doing more like face videos. I don't know what that's called, but like, you know what I'm saying? Like where you can see her. But all of her content, at least all the content that I have watched, has been no face. Like you don't see her. Obviously you hear her, like she's talking to you, but you're looking like at her hands and then like at her Kindle or the book she's reading or whatever it is. There are a lot of diamond painters also that only do whip-in chats on their channel, so you never see their face. You only ever see the project that they're working on and their hands. So like you definitely can, even in the book space, do faceless content if that's like what you're most comfortable with. I just remind myself that the people that are commenting, unless I've actually had a conversation with them outside of YouTube, right? So like in DMs or like how me and Margaret like can see each other, that they're just faceless people. Like they don't know me and I don't know them. So like what they have to say about me, I don't really care.
Yeah.
On the video, bro. Like that's weird.
My thing is typically the people who come on to be nasty and be trolls is like they're there because they feel so bad about themselves that they feel the need to put someone else down.
Right.
So I think it's hard though when it's stuff that you can't change like that. Like, yeah, no eyelashes. I know somebody on here that she has alopecia, so she has no hair, no eyelashes, no eyebrows. She has an entire channel where she like takes you through putting on a wig and like drawing in her eyebrows and putting on fake lashes. It's really fun to watch her. But no, I totally get where you're coming from, and I am honestly surprised I haven't received more nastiness.
I think you just have to decide. I mean, not everyone is going to want to do YouTube anyway, right?
Yeah.
So there's that. And I think that you can still, like, even if you're not doing like a YouTube channel, you could do like Kelsey. She has a YouTube channel, but for the most part, she is a bookstagrammer. She doesn't really do like outside of like, she does Tuesday sprints now, which she's on vacation right now, so she's not doing Tuesday sprints. But she's been doing Tuesday sprints, and then like she does sprints with Brittany for like book club and stuff. But she will do like an occasional vlog here or there, but she's not really a booktuber. Like she'll even tell you like I'm not really a booktuber.
Yeah.
So I think it's just about kind of finding like where it is that you are comfortable on the internet, like in the book space. Because really I started on Instagram as well. And then came over to YouTube. But then like I mean I've watched some of my like old videos. And I'm almost to 3 years at this point, which that'll be what, Saturday. So I have to film a video this week, but for that. But I like Saturday will be my 3 years on BookTube. And honestly, like it's like you just do it. You know what I mean? And you can definitely do it faceless if you want to. The person telling us we're annoying and chat too much instead of reading, that part. I don't care. Like if you're not here for the chatting, then like no, my thing is this: no one is forcing you. At least I'm not. Like I'm not forcing anyone to watch my content. So like if you click on the content and then you're like, oh, this isn't for me, I just don't like. It's not an airport. Like I don't need you to announce your departure. Like just leave. Just click on. It's fine.
I have some people I even like have been talking too much, and I'm like, I actually love you, but I have to get more reading done, so I'm gonna go. That's one thing. To get mad at people for talking too much and being like, you need to read. Don't tell us what to do.
The other thing is like, I don't need to know that you're gonna mute me. I will leave the chatty bits of sprints up, especially when I'm watching like replays. I'll leave the chatty bits of sprints up and just read through them.
Yeah.
If I really am just using sprints to get reading done, and I just want to feel like I'm being I'm body doubling to get sprints or to get reading or other productivity done, I will just let it play. And I will continue doing what I need to do while it's just playing. It's not a big deal. Yeah, I don't wear makeup in any of my videos because I have to take my glasses off in order to apply it. And I can't see well enough to do that. Like my face is going to be 2 inches from the freaking mirror. Like just doing my skincare is like bad enough. I'm not trying to put makeup on. Because I have gotten questions on videos before as like, oh, everyone else puts makeup on before they film. And I'm like, listen, this is what you get. I'm so sorry. Like if blank face is not what you want, I don't know what to tell you. We were holding her and her books hostage, apparently. I mean, I can't see you, bro. So like if you want to pick up a book, honestly, this whole time we've been chatting, I've been sitting here playing Wildflowers. Like it's not hurting anyone for you to like be like, okay, well, I'll just read my book while they're chatting. No one cares. Like that, you can do that.
I mean, I mean, at the end of the day, it's like you don't have to like just don't be rude about it, right?
See, this is too much, bro. This is too much.
Oh my god.
That's like for why? Like for what reason? I just
Oh no, I think I know whose sprints those are on. Oh boy.
I just feel that's unnecessary. Advertising board.
Yeah, YouTube doesn't have one of those, sweetie. You just click off.
Like, I mean, if you don't want to listen to me chat, here's the thing. That's what this channel is. It's just me chatting about books. So, like, and with my friends. So if you don't want to listen to us chat, then I don't know what to tell you.
Yeah. Well, for me, that's like what sprints are, right?
That's
like,
totally so. I'm offended that you would play a game while we chat. That is just rude. I'm just playing.
I absolutely would never ever played merge games on my phone while we were talking during chatty bits. Never happened.
That's what I'm saying. Like, I never just sit here and play Wildflowers while we're chatting while I'm hosting the sprints. Never. Yeah. I would never do that. That would be weird. Yeah, no, yeah. I feel like all of us are.
For me, sprints are a chance to be social, right? I can read by myself anytime. Sprints are about being social. And if you don't like people that are on there, that's fine. Like, nobody has to like everybody. But, like, if you are tuning into sprints, you do need to understand that they're going to chat. And they're going to chat with each other when there are people on there.
Listen, if I want to be really productive, I don't invite anybody to sprint with me. I'm going to be honest. Like, the times that y'all see me on here by myself where it's just me sprinting for like 4 to 8 hours. I also love the chatty bits, Christina. It is literally, it's also my main socialization, unless you count socializing with a 7-year-old and a 16-year-old. I'm just saying. Although the 16-year-old is very intelligent. But like, my thing is first of all, it's used as my main source, I would say, of socialization with people that have like the same interests as me, right? But also, like, I feel like if you don't like the chatty part, just mute that part and keep reading.
Yeah.
There's like, but also, like, how are we supposed to build community without? I don't know how else you build community on BookTube. Now, I mean, there are people that don't do sprints at all. That's fine.
Yeah.
But if you're doing live streams, how are we supposed to build community if we're just like, okay, we're going to sprint for an hour and then we talk for 2 minutes and then we sprint for another hour? Like, I will talk until within reason until the comments run out. But if I really want to be productive, I just won't invite anybody to join me on sprints.
Yep.
It'll just be me on sprints because I want to be productive. Like, so the times that people see me with nobody else on screen with me, it's literally because I'm like, okay, today we're going to be productive.
Yeah. That's part of why you will never see me fully do away with like public sprints on my channel, even if I were to do something like start a Patreon, because I recognize that like that's a community thing as well. And part of what built my community is sprints. So like part of why I have the amount of watch time that I have is because of sprints. I wouldn't monetize it.
Yeah, I agree with this. And it's actually why I want to find a way to incorporate Patreon sprints. I just don't have the capacity right now.
I understand.
But it's a thing I would like to do. But like Margaret, like I don't know if Margaret did, but I personally started as nothing but a sprint channel.
No, I started as a normal BookTube channel.
There were months where I think 3 or 4 months of my channel where all I had was the like booktuber newbie tag, because Lexi was like, Lexi and Michelle were like, people will find you easier if you do that tag.
Yeah.
So I did that tag. It garnered attention, but there was a big chunk of time where all I was doing on my channel was sprints. I didn't have any static videos.
Yeah. I was I would say I was among some of the first people to do reading sprints, right? Like start sprints, because I think I actually started doing writing sprints for an event that I was running, and then they became reading sprints because I got the idea from back when I would do NaNoWriMo in person. So
exactly. How do you know if you mesh with someone if you don't chat? If all you, in my opinion, if all you see really is like, I mean, I definitely watch people that don't sprint.
Yeah. I mean,
however, I'm also aware that like my channel is where it is because of sprints.
Yeah.
So I would never get rid of public sprints, even if like for some reason like the only public sprints we could do was 24-hour. I don't know that I would ever make sprints like a completely Patreon thing.
I think that let me walk back. There are boundaries if it were to start to get to be too much for me, like that kind of thing. But anyways, speaking of people who don't like chatty bits, I feel like if you do not want any chatting, just put on a timer and do it yourself.
And there's also that, like, if all you want is like to feel like people are reading with you, then just mute the chat.
Yeah, just like if you don't want the people interaction part of,
just set the timer yourself.
There's no point in watching.
Because really, yes, we do read during reading and productivity sprints, but I'm really here to like check in with the community, check in with my friends, say, hey guys, I'm still alive. You know what I'm saying? Because I read by myself all the time. Author tubers are more structured, and we'll talk about books, but stay on task. Yeah, but there are channels that only sprint. There are channels that do like a mixture of things. There are channels that don't sprint ever at all. But I think, at least for me, building community on my channel has been because I've done sprints. There are videos with the timers. There are breaks in them, but no people.
Yep, I used those for a really long time before. Yeah, I used those I would still use those, to be honest, if I had my shit together. Anyways.
Honestly, I watch if I want to feel like I'm reading with somebody, I don't even usually rewatch sprints. If I feel like I haven't sprinted in a while or I haven't had some community interaction in a while, then I will rewatch replays of sprints. But I actually will I have like a private playlist of just like read with me's. Because those are just someone reading for an hour with a sprint timer going.
Yep.
And I will use those because then I still like I get like the ambiance of like rain or whatever, but I feel like someone is reading with me because there's a person on the screen. But there's no talking.
Yeah.
If I had a channel, it would only be sprints. I'm not skilled enough to edit content. I mean, I edit nothing, if I'm honest. I mean, that's not true. I will cut out some stuff, but my editing is very mediocre. Like my brother was like, I'm going to learn to edit so that you can give that to me to do so that you can have higher quality video. And I'm like, okay, thanks.
That's nice.
So he's using YouTube University to learn how to edit.
Oh, cool.
That way he can edit all my stuff. And then all I have to do, I told him I'd make this up, but I just need him to edit the shit together and then put in the transitions and all that stuff. The thing is by the time I get to the editing stage, I'm worn out. I'm
too exacting. Like I don't think I could. I would love to get to a point where I can hire someone to edit in my style.
Yeah.
But like, I don't know if I could trust someone to edit my style, right?
Yeah.
Like to edit video the way I want it to be edited.
I'll be real. I don't have an editing style, so like I'm not that picky.
I mean, I don't have much of one either, but I know how I want videos to turn out.
Right.
So, yeah.
I don't know. I just kind of want like the, like where people do like cute transitions and stuff like that. I'm not good at that. And so I think
I don't love transitions, to be honest. I am not that girl.
I think if somebody else, I think I won't know how I like my videos to be edited until someone else is doing it.
Yeah.
And then, but if I have my brother doing it, he'll listen to critique.
Yeah.
As opposed to me like hiring someone to do it who's like, well, this is the style that I edited. You know what I mean? So,
yeah.
All right, friends. Do we have anything else that we want to say before we go? Because I am fading.
I'm out.
I'm out too. So
running dry.
Thank you so much for hanging out. Thanks, Margaret, for joining me. And also thank you to Katie. Katie and Margaret are both linked down below, so go follow them if you are not already. And I will see y'all. I have videos going up throughout the week, but because I have another one that'll go up on Saturday this week.
Mm-hmm.
If you're in the top tier of my Patreon, you'll get a behind the scenes kind of vlog. It's just like a chatty vlog. It's not even, honestly, it's not even a reading vlog. I can't even call it that because it's more chatting than anything. But if you're in the top tier for my Patreon, you'll get that on Sunday. And we will see y'all sometime next week for more sprints. Everybody say bye.